In both Madden 25 and College Football 25, Cover 6 Willie is a versatile defensive coverage that effectively locks down 3x1 and 2x2 formations. With the popularity of spread-heavy passing attacks, it's crucial to have an advanced coverage to counter these looks, or you can get picked apart. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Cover Willie to handle these formations effectively. I'm going to break down all the rules and assignments for the coverage, and then I'm going to break down in-game footage against real opponents to demonstrate how effective it can be in both Madden 25 and College Football 25. But what is match coverage? Now, match is a zone-based defense where defenders read receivers and switch to man coverage as needed. This flexibility allows defenders to either lock up specific players or provide help, which can create confusion for the offense and lead to mistakes. Essentially, it's a dynamic approach to coverage that combines the best aspects of both man and zone defenses. Now, what we're breaking down here is part of my Alabama Nick Saban defensive scheme, and it is all based around his legendary run at Alabama, where he led the Crimson Tide to become the greatest dynasty in college football history. Over the past 7-8 seasons of Saban's run, his defense evolved into a 4-down lineman base with a nickelback, and this was referred as his star position. The Tide ran an advanced match coverage scheme called his Cover 7 group of coverages. This offered numerous checks and options to counter offenses, and I wanted to give you guys something super similar in my Nick Saban scheme, where I broke down a ton of ways to use Cover 4 quarters and Cover 4 palms, and now we have Cover 6 Willie. Now, you can check out the description for the link for the full Saban defensive scheme, where you can get a deeper dive into all of the coverages and blitzes we use in this defense. Now, Cover 6 Willie is a combination defense with a Cover 6 variation to one side of the field and man coverage on the other. Now, against 2x2 formations, the Cover 6 side uses quarters coverage, while against 3x1 sets, it plays by palms rules. The opposite side always stays in man coverage, and below we're going to break down the rules of Cover 4 versus 2x2 and palms versus 3x1. So when talking about match coverage, you're going to hear me say read 1 to 2 to 3 or 2 to 1 or anything along those lines. What that refers to is 1 will always be the outside receiver on that side of the ball, then it goes in, so 2 would be the next receiver in, and then if there's a trips, he will be number 3. Now here we're going to break down the quarters rules versus 2x2 in this Cover 6 Willie. Now first we have the outside quarter, and he's going to play mod. This means man on deep or man on demand. And now if 1 goes vertical, so 5+ yards, the corner locks him up and plays man coverage. Now if 1 goes shallow, the corner shifts his focus to number 2, and number 2 goes vertical, then he will help on him and he'll try to lock him down with the inside quarters player. Then if both 1 and 2 go shallow, he's just going to drop back into a deep quarter zone and wait to see if any other players come deep. Next up we have the safety. Now he's going to read 2 to 1, so if number 2 goes vertical, the safety matches him in man coverage. So if that's any route 7+ yards down the field. Now if number 2 stays shallow, then the safety's focus is going to shift to number 1, and then if number 1 goes vertical to the inside, so like on a post, he's going to double him with the corner. The safety job is crucial in ensuring deep coverage and preventing big plays over the top. The quarter flat defender, he's going to jam number 2 at the line of scrimmage, then take the first player to release to the flat. If number 2 runs a wheel route, the quarter flat defender carries him vertically, ensuring that no one gets free down the sideline. Now for the man coverage side, the outside corner and linebacker lock down their receivers in man coverage. Pretty simple. Then the 3 receiver hook helps with shallow crosses over the middle or takes the second player to the flat, and his job is really to help over the middle, then ensuring the flats can be accounted for. This side of the defense focuses on eliminating easy completions by playing tight aggressive man coverage with that deep safety over the top on this side of the field. Okay, now we're going to break down our Cover 6 versus 3x1, and this is going to be palms rules. So first we're going to look at the outside corner, and he's going to play mag, so man everywhere he goes on the number 1 receiver. He follows 1 wherever he goes, ensuring the primary receiver is always accounted for, whether he runs a deep route or comes underneath. Next we have the quarter flat defender. He's going to read 3 to 2. If number 3 releases to the flat, the quarter flat defender takes him. If number 3 goes vertical or inside, the defender switches his focus to number 2, and now he'll lock him up wherever he goes, whether that's underneath or vertical up the field. This adaptability helps this defense defense cover multiple routes effectively without overcommitting. Next up, we have the safety. He's going to read 3 to 2. If number 3 goes vertical, the safety matches him. This can be routes like posts, corners, or streaks up the field. If 3 stays shallow, the safety shifts his focus to number 2, and if number 2 goes vertical, then he will take him anywhere he goes. This safety's role is crucial in preventing any deep passes and ensuring the defense remains sound against vertical threats. Now for the man coverage side, the outside corner is going to play mag on the solo receiver, so just cover him all over, while the linebacker covers the running back in man coverage if he leaves the backfield. The 3 receiver hook defender helps over the middle with shallow crossers or takes the second player to the flat. This balance of man coverage and zone principles ensures that all offensive threats are accounted for, particularly in those high stress situations like trips. By mixing match coverage principles on one side and man coverage on the other, Cover 6 Willie adapts to multiple offensive looks. Against 2x2, that quarter side covers deep and intermediate routes, while the man side aggressively eliminates matchups. Against trips, the palm side adapts to route combinations, while the man side reliably locks down isolated threats, providing a balanced yet aggressive defensive approach. Now, if you want a more in-depth breakdown of the rules for cover 4 palms or quarters, I have full in-depth videos on both of these coverage in the Saban Bama playlist that will be linked down below. Next, we're going to go over who we want to user when we're using this defense. Now, for this just basic setup, I prefer to user the 3 receiver hook defender most of the time because it provides maximum versatility on defense. By controlling this player, I can make plays over the middle of the field where offenses often attack with crossers, digs, and slants, and being in control of the 3 rec hook lets me react quickly to any developing route, allowing me to provide additional support where it's most needed. Additionally, this position allows me the flexibility to cover the flat if any player releases there and is left uncovered, ensuring that even quick throws to the outside can be accounted for. This dual role flexibility makes a 3-rec hook defender one of the most impactful players on the field. I also have more advanced ways I like to play this defense where I'm going to user one of the safeties and we can throw extra flat defenders on the field, but I am not going to be breaking that down in this video. That is kind of some of my advanced tips and tricks that I will break down in other areas. Now, if you want to elevate your game to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up today, I broke down a new addition to our Alabama defensive scheme with Cover 6 Willie, and I go over a bunch of advanced tips and tricks that you can use on Cover 6 Willie to take this coverage to a whole nother level and make it become one of the best lockdown pass defenses in all of Madden or college football. By learning these advanced tips and tricks, you can lock down your opponents, and these simple adjustments can transform Cover 6 Willie from a very good coverage into an elite coverage that can be used in any game situation. Then the site also includes more content for the Bama defense, including other match coverage breakdowns and blitz packages for both Madden and College Football 25. Then my brand new Alabama defensive playbook is live now, and it features in-depth breakdowns of Saban's match coverages, effective blitz schemes, and detailed instructions for each play and formation you will use in this defense. You'll find strategies tailored to handle any offensive attack, making your defense as dominant as the Crimson Tide, and this whole playbook is going to be 34 pages long. Then there are also 10 plus other additional playbooks available with offensive and defensive breakdowns, and you can find options that work for both college football and Madden. Additionally, on the site, we have offensive content like my dual threat QB offense, where I break down 6 of the greatest running QBs of all time, and the spread run offense, where I cover 3 of the best and most explosive college football offenses we have ever seen. By subscribing to the site, you'll get access to all my Madden 25 and College Football 25 content for one price. A yearly membership saves $50 over the course of the year, and if you want to check out Scheme Kings, I will link it down below. All right, now we're going to get into some in-game examples of me using this Cover 6 Willie defense online against real opponents. All right, so now breaking some of these tips down live and just kind of showing you how good this coverage can be online. And one of my favorite things about it is so adaptable. It doesn't matter if they come out in an empty formation like this, a 2x2, 3x1. This coverage can adapt to any formation and give us a really solid base. So it is always going to come out if there's a trip side, like in an empty, there's a trip side and a double side. It's always going to come out with your trip side to the wide side. So it'll play palms rules on this side and just press man over here. Now for this, the base setup I run, I always want to user this 3-rec hook. Now up on Scheme Kings, I do have some advanced setups that I like, that I probably even like better, but you can use basically all 3 of the setups interchangeably, where I will user one of the safeties. So that's, if you do check out Scheme Kings, that's what you can learn there. But with this middle linebacker, we really have 2 main jobs. So the first main job is to help over the middle. The second main job is I like to help in the flat, because you got to think, let's say they run just a couple 9 balls, streaks on the outside here, and this player runs a drag across the field. Well, he's going to have nobody covering him. These players are going to get run off, and there's going to be nobody in the flat. So as this user, I also want to almost play like another flat defender if someone on the trip side or the match side runs to that side of the field. So right here, the other thing we're doing is we're just playing over the middle, looking for crossers and looking for work. So right here, I see a crosser coming into the middle. We just have match coverage all across the board. Then late, I see this guy do a drag wheel up the field. So as soon as I see that, I react and take him, and we look everywhere else, and it is completely locked down, nothing open. He tries to check that down underneath. We get a knockout. So what did I say? We got to watch for running backs, and we got to watch the flats. So right here, they start with their running back on the line here. He's going to motion across the field, and he's going to motion to the man side. So as soon as I see that, I know this player's in man here, this player's in man here, so nobody's going to be guarding the running back out of the backfield. So that has to become my responsibility, and I just have to know that. I take him, he's locked up. Now imagine if I just stayed in the middle and didn't take this running back, he'd be wide open. Now we look here, everything's covered. This guy's maybe getting kind of open, but we have this guy lurking underneath. Then he tries to go up over the top, and we have a double on the ball because we have match coverage on that side. We get a knockout. That can lead to a ton of doubles with our match. Okay, here it is again, kind of usering over the middle of the field. And we're looking for work over the middle. We have a little stutter and go back in over the middle. He just tries to throw this slant. So this is 4 verticals up the field, everything taken away. Tries to go to his check down underneath. I step in front with my user, and we get a pick, and we are off to the races. So it works in Madden. It works the exact same in college football. Rules are all the same. Here he's an empty, so trips will come out with our match side. As the user, I want to play over the middle. We see a couple drags coming over the middle, so I take that. But we have a double on this corner route. This corner taken in man. Triple team on our drags here. Manned up here. Completely locked down. One-on-one coverage. We get a knockout at the catch point. Here, going to be using this player in the middle here. Right here, I see the running back check down. We have kind of a 4 verticals concept down the field. So I'm going to step up on the running back, and he's going to try to throw this kind of slant over the middle, but here he's throwing it to the man coverage side. So I've broken down a kind of match coverage, but this man coverage side is really good too, because it's basically playing 2-man under rules. So these guys are going to be basically shaded down because they have safety help over the top. So they're going to be playing super hard underneath on any route that breaks in. Look how well this guy plays man coverage, safety help over the top. 4th and 13 in completion. Then same on this side. So this is going to be one-on-one coverage, but he's playing underneath coverage here. So he's going to be sitting on those underneath routes because he has safety help over the top. So he tries to throw that little curl, and our man coverage player steps in front, and we got a pick 6 going the other way. So that is our cover 6 Willie. It is really one of my favorite coverages I have used all year, and it is going to be a perfect addition to our Nick Saban coverage scheme. Now that you've been shown how effective this defense can be, remember, there is also my advanced Cover 6 Willie coverage tips and breakdown live on Scheme Kings right now, along with many more videos on the site that will give you even more options for this Saban defense. Then if you're looking for a comprehensive breakdown of the entire Saban defensive concept, including a deep dive into the personnel and philosophy behind it, make sure to check out the intro video for this whole defense, and you can watch that right here.